So, hello everyone, and welcome to Exploring Consciousness. It's a hot summer day today, and I will be teaching you on the Trikaya, which it's called in Tibetan Buddhism, the three bodies: the physical, the energy, and the universal body. So they're called the Nirmanakaya, the Sambhogakaya, and the Dharmakaya. So let's begin. The first body is pretty obvious. You just have to look in the mirror to see it. It's your body consisting of two hands, 2 feet, a torso, a head. So it's pretty clear. But that's not where it ends. So actually, the physical body in this sense actually also refers to thoughts and emotions and all 5 senses. So the hearing, the seeing, the smelling, the tasting, and the touch are all part of the physical body. Still pretty clear, right? And then we have thoughts and emotions are also part of the physical body. And that's where we start to enter into a little bit more unclear territory. Thoughts and emotions can appear quite abstract because we have a lot of techniques and methods and views and teachings that describe thoughts and emotions in different ways and different methods that are effective to work with them. So it can be kind of confusing. So I would like to focus on just the bare recognition of the existence of thoughts and emotions. And that is what I would like to lead you in a meditation now. And this practice is called somatic mindfulness, or mindfulness on the somatic aspect on thoughts and emotions. So let's begin by settling down. And you can do it your own way. If you have a favorite style of relaxing and becoming more present. A way I like to use is to notice the breath, to allow it to come to the foreground of my experience, and to just breathe naturally. Try to bring your body into your awareness. So just pay attention to the entire body. Might be more simple for you if you do that gradually by going from the toes to the top of your head, or from the top of your head down to your toes. Just in your own way, bring the body to the foreground of your experience and feel into the body. to really see if you can go with your awareness into the spots in your body that feel contracted or stuck. And the breath here can be a great support in relaxing those tensions. So you can do it however you like. The main point right now is just to settle into the present moment and to become more embodied, to drop from thinking and being stuck up in the head to feeling the sensations in the body. So just give yourself a few moments to take care of your inner world. And if something comes up that wants to stay, then just let it and be lovingly aware of it. So this is not done to feel better or to remove discomfort. It's simply a gesture of friendliness, an act of kindness to yourself. So what happens when you do that? So now I would like to invite you to look at your thoughts and not be so caught up or focused on the contents of the thoughts. Rather, just observe their nature. Observe how they feel when they arise. See if you can notice a movement happening inside your head. It doesn't matter what you're thinking. What matters now is to observe the process of thinking. So can you notice a subtle movement inside your head? Almost like you can feel the neurons firing and the activity in your prefrontal cortex. Perhaps you can notice slight twitch or movement of the eyes as they're aligned with those thoughts. Can you notice the small pause in between the thoughts? It almost feels like your brain is going tick, 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 tick. And in between those two thoughts, there's a small short gap. So this way of observing the process of thinking, disregarding the contents of the thinking, can be very beneficial to gain a deeper understanding of thoughts and not be so hooked by them and believe the stories they tell because you know their nature. Though they may appear as solid and real, in one moment they are there, and the next moment they are gone. Like drawings on water. So if you take your finger on the surface of water and you start drawing letters and symbols, then the appearance of those letters will come up, but as soon as you move your finger, then they already dissolve back into the water. So does that metaphor help you in some way? And next, I would like you to switch your attention from the thoughts in your head and go down into your body, into your heart and belly. Try to focus on your torso. The heart and belly area is usually where we carry most of our emotions. And again, whatever you're feeling, whatever you're experiencing, whatever you're carrying with you from the day, just let that be as it is. And just notice the sensation, the felt sense of the emotion itself. So again, disregard the contents, the label of the emotion. Disregard why you're feeling this way right now and just notice what's going on inside. Can you feel it moving? Subtly changing, taking on a different shape. Maybe the spot where you feel slightly expanded or contracted is moving a little bit inside the body, almost like it was a cloud in the sky, slowly changing its shape. So all emotions move in different ways. But for now, let's just observe how this emotion right now in your experience feels in the body. So this is being mindful of the somatic aspect of emotions. And it's a great way to really understand the nature of emotions and also not to get hooked by them, to believe in them. With some training, it will be possible to enter this state even in intense emotional reactions, when you feel overwhelmed by the energy, when it's covering you from your head to your toes, then perhaps you might have a glimpse of, yes, I recognize the emotion. It's moving inside my body. So soon it will change, because it is already changing in subtle, almost unnoticeable ways. So can you feel that movement in your body? Can you feel how it's already changed since when you first began observing it? So that was the meditation and practice I wanted to share with you on the physical body. And the reason I picked this practice specifically was observing the somatic aspect of thoughts and emotions also enables you and makes it easier to notice the energy body, because they're intimately connected with each other. So it's actually a gateway. So thoughts and emotions can be a gateway into the energy body. So the energy body is a lot more difficult to describe because it's not something you can see or hear or taste or smell. So it's beyond the five senses. So it's something you have to actually experience in the present moment, inside the physical body, so to say. And you've probably already recognized the energy body many times, but in our everyday lives and everyday activities, when we are stressed and stuck up in the head, we usually barely even notice the sensations in the body. So that's why practicing this is necessary to be able to have a direct recognition of it. So if we slide back into the meditation, being aware of the physical sensations, the somatic aspect of our experience. And then I would like you to particularly focus on what is called in the different spiritual traditions as the chakras. So let's go through them one by one in a rather short and quick way, and just see if you can notice when you place your attention on the spots, which I will invite you to do, if you can notice that those spots are somewhat different than other spots in the body. Can you notice a ebb and flow of energy and more clearly in those spots than you can notice on other places in your body? Maybe you can even notice if they have subtly different quality to them depending on what point you're focusing your attention on. So let's experiment with that. And let's start with the root chakra, which is located in the trunk of your body. And if you don't know where that is, you can just focus on the surface you're sitting upon and just feel into that place where your butt reaches the cushion. You can breathe into that spot as well. That might help you to stabilize your attention on that spot. Breathing into this chakra can be very grounding, stabilizing you and your mind activity. But if nothing else, just see if you can notice a small shift when you focus on that area. And then I would like to invite you to move your attention a bit further up through the center of your body. So just below your navel is another chakra called the sacral chakra. And it's connected to our sexual and wrathful energies. So can you probe with your awareness, maybe touching it with your breath in a gentle way. Can you feel a slight shift in your experience, in the energy of your body? So breathing into this spot can sometimes create warmth inside the body. And then I would like to invite you to pay attention to your solar plexus. So just above your stomach and just below the rib cage, over here. Breathing into it gently, relaxing into it and just observing. Okay, what is the quality of this space? Can you notice a slight shift? This spot can, like all chakras, can be blocked, which means that you experience a tightness in this spot, and the flow of energy is constricted. So just observing it, paying loving attention to it, and breathing into it can sometimes open it and release stored energy, which can create movement inside the entire body. And then I would like to invite you to move up into your heart. And I'm not talking about the physical heart, but to the heart space in your center. In this place, we usually store painful memories. So it's not uncommon to feel subtle pain in this area, almost like you have a thorn or a small rock here. So be gentle and respectful of what you're feeling, and just treat the energy to your loving awareness, bathing it in your breath and allowing it to be as it is. Just observe if there's a shift in your experience when you pay attention to this spot. And then you can move up into the throat. And there are actually several small chakras across the entire body, even in the throat. So you can choose where you feel a contraction or a flow of energy. That could be anywhere. So you choose what is in your experience. And then you do the same. You just breathe and be aware. Notice what happens. And then you do the same thing with your third eye. So you just pay attention to somewhere around here. You should feel a small pressure when you're focusing on that point. So it's important not to concentrate or use effort, but in a gentle and relaxed way, just observe what happens if you pay attention to that spot. Breathe and investigate. Can you feel a subtle shift in the energy of your body? And finally, I want to invite you to observe the seventh chakra, the crown chakra, which is here in the top of your head. And relax into it. It feels almost like it's hovering just above the crown of your head. And paying attention to it can almost feel like you're rolling your eyes backwards. Looking at that which is looking. Can be a sensation of hovering above your own body and looking at yourself. But just pay attention to that spot. Breathe gently into it. And relax. See if you can open yourself to the experience. So could you notice a subtle difference in the energies which you experienced inside your body when you focused on these different points? So that's the energy body. And another quick method I want to show you is you can place your two palms together like this, almost like you were going to pray, but the palms of your hands are not touching. And then slightly and slowly you move them closer and further away from each other. Can you feel the energy between the two palms? Almost like they're building up and it becomes harder to push them together. Can we move them sideways? Can you feel like almost like they're two magnets that have opposite polarities and are slightly pushing each other away? So that's a fun way to play around with the energy. So there are many ways we can do that, and perhaps we can dive deeper into the energy body in another meditation. But for now, I would like to go to the next meditation, and which is the universal body, also known as consciousness, awareness, the knowing quality of our mind. So it has many names in the different spiritual traditions. But let's just focus on the actual experience of noticing it. So unlike the other bodies, the universal body of consciousness is objectless. Too, and there's nothing to recognize or find or really point to as it. But it is very simple. It is simply the knowing of this moment. And it can be recognized as simply present in your experience right now. And having done these meditations on focusing on the somatic aspect of thoughts and emotions and going through the different energies in the chakras of the body, it can be easier to recognize it. And the recognition is aided by that's can be helpful to be able to rest in pure consciousness, just the unconditional awareness. And whatever we're experiencing or are aware of, we can always use that and ask ourselves, so what is aware of this? And then we can just go with our attention back, inside, and looking for, okay, so where is the source of this awareness? And then we come to a place of not finding anything. So it's just this empty radiance present. So having arrived there with our attention, we just drop our attention and just rest in that openness. So see if that's possible for you to go deep inside, searching for the source of what is aware. And then just surrendering into that openness. And whatever arises in your experience, thoughts, emotions, sensations, perceptions, energies. So what we are aware of right now is that which is aware of the coming and going, the moving, the flowing nature of these experiences. So it is that simple. So there are no practices of the truth body or universal body. It's not needed. It cannot be changed. It cannot be altered in any way. So in that sense, it is already perfect, and it is already perfect in all of us. So we just have to notice it, pay attention to it, relax into it, and it becomes clearer in our experience. So I've already talked about this kind of meditation in many of my previous meditations. So if you're interested, then you're welcome to look at those. So before we end the meditation for today and continue with questions, I would like to say that these three bodies are not separate from each other, and they are just different aspects of the same body. Body may be not the right word here, but they are also interconnected with each other, meaning if something happens in one body, then it affects the other. So I would like to invite you to play around with the different practices of the three bodies and to see, okay, does what happens to one body affect the other? So if I move my physical body in a certain way, if I eat different kinds of foods, if I think different kinds of thoughts, if I manifest different kinds of emotions in my body, does that affect how the energy flows in my different chakras and how it feels inside my body? So play around with that. And also, if I have a very high frequency energy and I can feel it radiating from outside of my body, like it was a warmth, does that affect my physical body in some way? Or if I have a very low contracted dense energy, does that affect my physical body? And all of these things, do they affect my recognition of the universal body of consciousness? So probably you've noticed that if you eat fried foods or a lot of meat, and then your mind becomes sluggish and drowsy, and it becomes more difficult to maintain clarity. So that way it's clear that it affects both your energy and your recognition of consciousness. So nothing can affect consciousness. So that's a very important point I would like to say. Nothing can affect consciousness, but everything can affect your recognition of it. So that's an important point. So I think I've said what I wanted to say today. Yeah, so let's play around with it. This was just a short introduction to the three bodies, and I gave you a small practice for each of them. So let's enjoy the rest of this beautiful day. And for you at home, have a wonderful day. Bye.